On the Ukrainian front, a new sound echoes across the battlefield. It's not a tank, it's not a drone, it's the growl of something faster, meaner, and far smarter than the machines Russia expected to fight. This is the Swedish CV90, and according to many on the ground, it's already changing how Ukraine fights this war.
Swedish designs never disappoint. CV has been around since the 90s and it still looks very cool.
Now, let's get one thing clear. This isn't just another Western vehicle sent to Ukraine story. The CV90 isn't there to look good in parades or soak up budget money. It's there to replace Soviet-era junk that's been hanging on for decades, and it's doing that spectacularly. By early 2025, Ukraine had around 55 to 65 CV90s in service, donated mainly by Sweden, with Denmark and the Netherlands jumping in to fund and produce more. You'll find these vehicles where the fighting's hardest, in places like Bakhmut and Kreminna, where mud, drones, and artillery make life miserable for anything less than first rate. And the soldiers using them? They've been blunt. Compared to their old BMP, the CV90 feels like switching from a 1980s Lada to a modern Volvo. It's faster, tougher, and most importantly, it keeps people alive. The CV90, officially known as the Combat Vehicle 90 or CV9040 in its Swedish form, isn't a tank. It's an infantry fighting vehicle. That means it's built to carry troops, protect them, and still pack enough firepower to punch through enemy armor. At its heart is a 40mm Bofors L70 autocannon, a beast of a gun that can fire up to 300 rounds per minute. That's enough to turn light vehicles, trenches, or even low-flying drones into debris in seconds. And unlike the old Soviet BMP that had questionable accuracy and comfort, the CV90 has modern fire control systems, thermal sights, and stabilized optics, so it can shoot accurately even while moving over rough terrain. Protection-wise, this thing is a fortress on tracks. It's covered in composite armor and backed by modular add-on plates, meaning it can be adapted for different threat levels. It even uses Sweden's Barracuda thermal camouflage, which helps hide its heat signature from drones and thermal sensors. A big deal in a war where nearly every square meter is under surveillance. And then there's the mobility. With a 550 to 670 horsepower engine and a top speed of 70 kilometers per hour, it can move fast, even through the kind of Ukrainian mud that swallows lesser vehicles whole. Crews describe it as reliable and surprisingly smooth, a rarity in war zones where reliable is usually followed by until it breaks. The CV90's first months in Ukraine have shown why this design has been respected for decades. In defensive operations, it's proven almost ideal, fast enough to reposition before Russian artillery lands, and tough enough to take hits that would wreck older IFVs. In offensive pushes, it's often seen working alongside Leopard 2 tanks, forming a tight partnership. The CV90 advances quickly, uses its autocannon to clear enemy positions, and dismounted infantry, while the Leopards hang back to crush anything heavier. It's a textbook combined arms strategy, NATO-style warfare, finally being put to work in Ukraine. There have been losses, a few vehicles hit by RPGs or mines, including one captured near Kreminna, but overall, the survival rate and combat effectiveness have impressed both Ukrainian and Western analysts. And here's what really stands out. Troops have been adapting the CV90 in clever ways. They've used its autocannon in limited indirect fire, almost like mini artillery, to suppress Russian positions. They've mounted drones alongside it for live targeting feeds. In short, they're not just using the CV90, they're evolving it. If the CV90 had an American cousin, it'd be the M2 Bradley, another infantry fighting vehicle that's seen action everywhere from Iraq to Ukraine. At first glance, they look similar, tracked, armed, and built to carry troops safely into combat. But dig deeper, and you'll see two very different design philosophies. The Bradley was designed during the Cold War for a US Army expecting to fight Soviet tanks in open European terrain. It's armed with a 25mm Bushmaster autocannon and Tau anti-tank missiles, making it excellent for destroying heavier armor. But it's also heavier, close to 30 tons, with a strong focus on crew protection and anti-tank punch. The CV90, on the other hand, is lighter, around 23 to 35 tons depending on the variant, and trades missile systems for a much larger 40mm autocannon. It's not meant to dual main battle tanks at long range. It's meant to dominate everything else. That autocannon hits harder per shot, offers higher elevation for engaging drones or urban targets, and has greater sustained firepower for infantry support. Think of it this way, and this is not hyperbole. The Bradley is like a heavyweight boxer with knockout punches, while the CV90 is a mixed martial artist, faster, more flexible, and more situationally aware. Ukrainian crews who've used both say the Bradley feels like a tank, while the CV90 feels like a predator, quick to move, quick to react, and perfectly built for the hit-and-run combat that defines Ukraine's modern battlefield. Both vehicles are saving lives and changing tactics, but the CV90 stands out as a European evolution of the same idea, optimized for mobility, electronics, and sensor warfare. To Ukraine's soldiers, the CV90 isn't just a machine, it's a statement. They've nicknamed it the Swedish Wolf, partly because of its speed and partly because it showed up when the fight was toughest. Its arrival signaled something bigger than firepower. For years, Sweden had been officially neutral, staying out of major conflicts. Now it's joining NATO and sending one of its most advanced fighting vehicles straight into an active war zone. That's not just support, it's a declaration that Europe is done sitting on the sidelines. And morale matters. When you've spent months inside a decades-old BMP where a single drone strike could end it all, stepping into a CV90 with advanced sensors, modern armor, and comfortable seating changes everything. Ukrainian troops have literally called it luxury in wartime. Not because of how it looks, but because for once they can fight without constantly thinking about dying in a fireball. The CV90's battlefield success also shows how far Ukraine's military has come. It's not just absorbing Western gear anymore, it's mastering it, blending NATO tech with its own field ingenuity. Now, here's where things get interesting. Sweden isn't done. In fact, the version Ukraine's using is just the start. The next generation CV90 Mark V promises even more advanced systems. We're talking hybrid propulsion for quieter movement, UAV integration to link directly with battlefield drones, improved armor protection, and potentially beyond line-of-sight anti-tank missiles. Sweden, Denmark, and the Netherlands have also teamed up to produce around 180 new CV90s starting from 2024, a mix of troop carriers, command vehicles, and specialized variants. Some of those are expected to go directly to Ukraine, strengthening its long-term mechanized forces. And since 2024, new reactive armor kits have been in testing, designed specifically to handle drone-dropped munitions and loitering threats, which are now one of the biggest dangers on the front. The idea is to keep the CV90 relevant in the world's first truly drone-dominated war, a battlefield where being fast and adaptable is everything. When you zoom out, the CV90 is more than just an effective IFV. It represents a strategic shift away from massed Soviet-style armor toward a model built on mobility, survivability, and smart coordination. In practical terms, it's one of the clearest signs that Ukraine's army is turning into a modern, NATO-compatible force, something that would have seemed unthinkable a few years ago. It also positions Sweden, of all countries, as a major defense player, a country that's gone from neutrality to the front lines of European rearmament in record time. The truth is, Russia's war has exposed a reality most militaries already suspected. Big, slow, heavily armored columns don't survive long under drones and precision weapons. The future belongs to what can move fast, strike first, and adapt quickly. And right now, few vehicles embody that better than the CV90. So when you see those Swedish-built IFVs rolling across Ukrainian fields, kicking up mud and smoke, remember this isn't just another piece of Western aid. It's a sign of how warfare is changing, and how Europe quietly but decisively is changing with it. The CV90 is proving that the future of ground combat doesn't belong to the biggest tank, but to the smartest machine. And if this is what Sweden's bringing to the table, the world might want to start paying more attention to what's being built up north.